Okay, so when we work with the context directory, we might on our regular page have a segment in here dedicated to, hey, contact us, or something down here, contact us. Now we have a contact us with your main piece, but it's really only targeting your official recreation center sort of main desk. Any of the individual pieces we could create, and when we go to an interior page, we can change what is being displayed. Really, we're going to do this morning. All right, let's do the outside version. There we go. Now, on the inside here, when we work with the contact, when we go to any interior page, well, there we go. We could change what this is. We looked at that yesterday. But what if I wanted a comprehensive page saying, here's all the people? Okay, well, you can create a page and insert, you could do it as a, if you remember from yesterday with our data list where we had the hours of operation, but in this case, we could put a person's name on the left-hand side and their phone number on the right, that kind of thing. Well, you can build that. But once again, you're taking the time to build that. We could do a contacts directory, which does it for us. So if I go over to Scugog here, I should move Scugog's thing to make it easier for me to find. There it is. But when we go to Scugog here, they have it set up here. It's a contacts directory. And when we go there, it's built around these categories. I can create customized categories that will automatically populate with a colored bar. Now, their green is part of their design build. Yours could be, it would be a different color, but it would use a colored bar to then organized categories. It might be general, might be administration, might be clerks, might be parks, might be recreations, might be arenas. However you want to organize it, you can create categories that will show up in colored bars, and I can establish underneath of it different contacts. But different than what we can do on a regular page, even using a data list, is this is interactive. Now they've misspelled administration. I should let them know about that. But their fire administration here, if I was looking at this on a cell phone, I can click right on the phone number and phone them. Or if I had a dialer program, like we do with Microsoft Teams here, I could dial out using my computer. But over here, after the information, I can actually map this location. And when I head over there, I actually can create a map that has a pin in it saying this is exactly where it is. So we can generate a map that goes with it to be able to work with those, and a confidential email. But I can add as much information as I want into these. But this is a unique piece, and it's all governed right here with the contacts directory. Now you notice the contacts directory has a little arrow for dropdown, and when I open it up, I have categories and contacts. And this is just like working with the news. We can build categories, and those categories are what are going to drive these colored bars with the different names on it. So I could go in and I could say, let's create a category. Now, if I expand your categories, you have one called general, just like Scugog does, okay? But we can add our own, and it's just like creating categories within the news. I go to the parent, right click on it, hit create a contacts category, and I create one called Mark Training. Okay? And all I do is save and publish, and I've got a new category. There we go. So now it will create a second colored bar that will say Mark Training on it. So as if it's a real department. And that's all there is to creating categories, exactly like it was with the news. Now, when I go to the contacts, you'll by default have the Aurelia Recreation Center, which contains the information that you might have, but I can create my own. So in here, I could hit create a contacts item. Well, who might be a contact? Well, then we'll go back to Tess McTesterson. Okay. Extension is not allowed. Not like that. I don't like that. All right. This is Testerson. First name is, of course, Test. Last name is Testerson. And the title, we can say, he's the director of fun and payment. Email could be fake@fake.com. And a description if I want it. Now, with the location text, this is the physical saying, hey, it's at 103 Main Street. It's Fakeville, Ontario. and be a postal code, whatever we want in there, however we want to put it in there for the location text. Then we have the location link. Now, when we work with Google Maps, okay, if I go back to here and check out their map or location, the URL that is generated on this particular map is unique for where the pin is. If I take the whole map and I scroll it, it will change the details up here. So if you watch the details up here as I move it and release, it changes things. Whenever you have this focused with the pin exactly where you want it, you copy the URL from here. You go back into here and you paste the location link URL into there. So all I do is copy this, go back over and paste it in right there. For categories, this is reaching out to the category. Which categories for context do I want this in? Now I can pick multiple, but it creates a redundant listing. If you have your context directory, you might end up with Tess McTesterson here, then Tess McTesterson under whatever. It eats up a lot of space, and you really only need to have that out there once. So pick the category that is most relevant. For general, this is main desk, like all fire administration, all municipal office, those kinds of things. If you're looking for specific people, put them under the categories that are applicable. So in here, I would go back and say, well, we'll make them under mark training and submit. Okay, now there's nothing else to do here. There's no other pieces. So I just hit save and publish. Now that it's published, I can go to my contacts directory page. Now, because you're not linked up, this may or may not work. If I go back to the contacts directory main piece here, if I go to info, it has this here. Culture is published but not visible because it is unpublished on parent recreation. Well, let's save and publish it anyways. All right, let's go see here. And there you go. This is what yours would look like if you wanted to connect it. So we have the categories broken down, and we have your general that's automatically going to there, and we have this here. But I don't have a phone number. Well, the phone number is a separate piece that we build within this, but I do have the pieces that I need here. Okay. Now, if I click on the map this location, it will show me exactly the picture that I have. That's all there is to creating that particular piece. Now, to add a phone number, when I go back over to here and I go back into my contacts and I go back into Tess McTesterson, now it says, let's create a phone number. This has a unique piece in here that's called child items. The phone numbers are children of the actual contact. The contact itself is Tess McTesterson, but I need to do these things. So when I was building it, I could have clicked manually on this child items, but we were just looking at content. So you click on child items and you can create a phone number. So in here, this might be the phone number. Okay. And the name here would be like phone number. Yeah. Now, if you make this the primary, if you make it the primary that we have here, what this does is what it adds to it over here. If you leave it non-primary, it will end up over here. So I've made this one our primary contact number for it, and I'm going to hit save and publish. So I've saved and published that phone number now. If I take a step back, that's now a phone number under Tess McTesterson. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit create another phone number. And in here, we'll say this is the fax number. Spelled it right. And the name in here would just be fax. And I can put in a number. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this as non-primary, and I'm going to save and publish. There we go. And I can step back here, and I could click on this on the outside here, and I can publish, or sorry, this is the numbers. I can go back to the main piece here and click on Tess McTesterson and just say, let's publish just the whole piece just to make sure everything is set. Okay. Well, now when I go out to your contact directory that we have, there it is, and I refresh, it adds the primary number over here, and then it put the fax number here. Now, if I wanted all of them over here, keep all my phone numbers over here, all I would have to do is go back into Tess McTesterson, into the child items, into the fax number, and make it primary as well. And when I save and publish and come out here and refresh, it'll push the numbers over here, making it more engageable. Does creating a contact directory make sense? Now, if you would like this, Okay, it exists. It's all there for you, but you need to let Caitlin know where you would like this inserted. Okay, and by that, where do you want that connective piece on your home page? Okay, now you could have it as one of the, under one of the drop downs here. You could have it as a little add-on like we have with Scugog. It's up to you, so you can discuss that with her. Okay, so any way you want to do that, but that is something that you would have to take up with her where you would like that inserted. Does working with the contacts directory make sense? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recorder there.